Welcome to the Reddit earnings preview.
It is Monday, February 2nd, 2026, and today we're doing a deep dive into a company that, it claims to be the front page of the internet. We're talking about Reddit, ticker symbol RDDT.
And we're talking about them at a really critical moment. They've got their Q4 earnings coming out this Thursday, February 5th, right after the closing bell.
Yeah, I was looking through the research this morning and calling it just a quarterly report feels like, an understatement. One analyst called it a structural stress test of the company's entire identity.
That sounds a little ominous, but it really reflects the confusion in the market,
How so?
Well, investors are wrestling with this massive valuation puzzle. They're trying to figure out what Reddit is in 2026. Is it just another cyclical digital ad platform? Or is it a critical piece of AI infrastructure?
And it seems like the market is pretty skeptical right now. The stock's trading, about 20% below its recent highs?
Mm-hmm.
And I get the sense that a lot of that anxiety is coming from one specific place, Mountain View.
You're talking about the Google paradox.
Yeah.
It is, I think, the most fascinating and, frankly, contradictory narrative in all the source material.
It's the ultimate frenemy situation, right? On one hand, Google writes Reddit a check for, around $60 million a year?
Yeah, roughly that, just to train their Gemini models on human conversation.
So that's the partner side?
Exactly. It validates that Reddit's data is a premium asset that these AI companies desperately need. But then you have the predator side, the zero-click threat.
I've actually seen this myself. I searched for best budget espresso machine the other day, and Google's AI overview it summarized a Reddit thread for me right at the top of the page.
And you never click through to Reddit.
I got my answer and I left. Never even visited the site.
And that is exactly what sparked this recent securities fraud class action. The lawsuit alleges management knew this cannibalization was happening and just didn't disclose the risk if Google scrapes the content.
Reddit loses the traffic. And if they lose the traffic, they can't show ads. It feels, almost existential.
It does. It really does. Until you look at the Q3 2025 metrics, there's one specific number that kind of counters this whole narrative.
Okay.
Logged out DAU, daily active uniques who aren't signed in.
So these are the casual lurkers, the people who just sort of pop in?
People who usually come from a search engine, yes.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, that group actually grew 24% globally last quarter.
Wait, hold on. So even with Google supposedly intercepting everyone, more people are still showing up directly?
It suggests the Reddit brand is becoming strong enough to bypass the search engine. People aren't trusting the AI summary. They want to read the actual messy argument between real humans. Thursday's numbers will be the verdict on whether that trend held up.
Okay, so the user story it's complicated. But having users show up is one thing. Making money from them is another. Isn't advertising still the main business here?
Oh, absolutely. 90% of revenue.
Yeah.
And the story there isn't about traffic so much as it is about technology. They've been rolling out these max campaigns.
Right. That's their big machine learning push for ad placement.
It is. I saw a stat that it reduced the cost per acquisition by 17% in testing.
Which, for anyone who doesn't speak marketing, just means it's getting much cheaper for brands to find actual paying customers on Reddit, yeah.
Significantly cheaper.
Yeah.
And when you lower that cost, brands tend to spend more. That's just efficiency at work.
But there was a note from Cleveland Research that threw some cold water on that. They mentioned agency churn.
And that's the risk. Advertisers are willing to test Reddit. They call it the burst. But the retention isn't great. The report noted only 59% of partners met their ROI benchmarks recently.
So almost 40% of advertisers try it, don't see the returns, and they leave.
Exactly. That prevents Reddit from becoming an always-on part of the budget. They need that success rate to go way up.
There is one growth lever that looks huge, though, that gap between U.S. users and international ones.
The ARPU arbitrage, average revenue per user. Right now, a U.S. user makes them about $9.04. An international user.
It's way less.
It's $1.84. A massive difference, and international users now outnumber U.S. ones.
So how do they close that gap?
Machine translation. It sounds simple, but it's a game changer. Reddit is using AI to translate threads into a user's native language in real time.
I guess I never really connected how that leads to ad money.
It's all about context. If a user in Brazil lands on an English thread, they might just leave. But if that thread is instantly in Portuguese, they stay, they engage, and boom,
Suddenly you can serve them a relevant ad from a Brazilian company.
You've just unlocked a massive amount of ad space that was totally useless a second ago.
So if we zoom out to Thursday, we've got the lawsuit, the ad tech, the translation play. What's the one thing you're looking for?
It all comes down to the data moat thesis. As the internet gets flooded with synthetic AI slop, authentic human conversation becomes a premium asset class.
It really feels like a binary outcome. Either that zero-click thread is real and eating their lunch, or the value of that human data justifies the valuation.
And here's the question I want you to think about when you see those numbers. Is Reddit becoming a media consumption utility? Like Wikipedia, where you fly by, get a fact, and leave.
Or can it stay a community town square where you log in and stick around?
Right. The financial difference between a utility and a community is astronomical. And Thursday will tell us which way the wind is blowing.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.